All right. Welcome. Video 4. We're moving through. Thank you for sticking with me on this one. Hopefully, you've done all the other stuff from videos 1, 2, and 3, and now you're ready to move into the next phase. Okay. Again, we're talking about unlocking your warrior, and I'm answering the question how. Right. So, just a brief recap. You gotta you know, you got to check your perceptions. What do you think and say about yourself? Check the voices. You know, what are people saying? Helpful, unhelpful. Some people try to be helpful, but they're really not helpful. Some folks are willingly throwing contaminants into the soil. So, you know, what are those things? What are the seeds sown? Not only are the seeds you sown, but what seeds and have you allowed people to sow in your life? Then you looked at the impact. What shift in energy happens when you think about the challenge, right? Is it too much? Is it exhausting? Do you want to retreat? Do you want to crawl under a rock? And that's what we're going to cover here because we're going to identify your response. Now, the response, what do I mean by that? What are you talking about? The response and your responses are those things that are done almost reactionary like, right? It's almost like knee jerk, like you just have this. Imagine sitting in the doctor's office and getting hit on the with the rubber mallet on your kneecap, right? And no matter how hard you try, it's a reflex. It just happens, right? It's responding to the it's responding to the energy or the impact of the rubber mallet or the little hammer. Okay. And it's in close proximity to the impact. And this is the reason why I'm saying, understand, let me stop and pause. A lot of this stuff happens almost simultaneously. And I'm just picking it apart and I'm showing you these things that happen, even though it happens in rapid succession. So if you don't understand the perception, then you won't understand and you won't look at the seeds or the things that you say and that have been said about you. And then you don't look at the impact because your response is the first thing. And so the thing that we really pay attention to, right? These are the behaviors and stuff, right? So you might have even noticed the response when I encouraged you to complete the exercise in the last video. You might have noticed, right? Thinking about it, looking at the soil, getting to the point of exhaustion. You may have gone into one of your typical responses, right? Those involuntary responses that have become habit because you've done them so much. Now, the thing that makes this important is because responses to things that we don't like or don't want to face are automatic. Responses to the things that we don't like or don't want to face are automatic. They oftentimes so automatic that it seems like we're reacting directly to the challenge. And this is true specifically and especially when, excuse me, this is true especially when the challenge that you face seems to be repetitive, it seems to be recurring or reoccurring. Even though it's a different situation and it's in a different time, it seems to be reoccurring. And so this is how some of you know, the instantaneous stuff happens because this challenge is like the other one, even though it's not the same, but I've already built in my response. So in reality, we are responding to the challenge based off of the perceptions that have disturbed our soil that releases unwanted sensations that we ultimately want to get away from and avoid. The more aware we become of this, the more it is possible to face the challenge. So I'm going to say this one more time. So in reality, so we think that we're responding directly to the challenge, but in reality, we are responding to the challenge based off of perceptions that have disturbed our soil and releases unwanted sensations we ultimately want to get away from and avoid. And the more aware we become of this particular thing, our response, the more it is possible to face the challenge because you no longer avoid or do the automatic thing. So I'm bringing all of this stuff into your awareness. So if I'm asking you if you're noticing everything, it's all internal. it's personal to you. What are you doing? What are you thinking and saying about yourself? What are you allowing others to say about you? Right? That's the checking your voices. That's the only one that has an external thing to it, but you're off ultimately letting the person say something or sow the seed, right? Now, at this point, you might be already thinking about the challenge you faced, hopefully. Now what I want you to do is write out what your typical response to that challenge is. The key or switch that I want you to do is I want you to talk about it I don't want you to talk about it historically. When that happened, I did this. I don't want you to talk about it like that. I want you to bring it into the present, into the here and now, right? And the way you do that is say, when I face and insert the challenge, right? When I face this challenge, I respond in the following ways. I did this or I did that. When I face this, insert the challenge, I respond in the following ways. And be honest with yourself, right? Be honest because it's the stuff that you do. Remember, these are the automatic things. And if you don't bring it to your awareness and if you are unwilling to face it, there's the likelihood that you will unlock your warrior and unlock your ability to face challenges will be actually non-existent. Your warrior will stay locked in chains, right? You will stay you will remain a prisoner to life. All right, now what's coming? I know we covered a lot. I know we covered a lot, and you're probably wondering, like, okay, when we get to the point where I get to do something different, where is that coming? All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you in the next video. We're going to cover that, right? But at this point, so I'm breaking it down so that we don't try to rush through it. So this is, sometimes you're the environment, the internal environment is not necessarily the most bearable. It's not the environment that we enjoy the most, right? So we try to hurry up and get out of it. I don't want you to hurry up and get out of it. I want you to sit with it and see, because now when you can see the response, when you can see in the present, I respond in the following ways, you'll be ready for the next step, and you'll get the next step in the next video. So make sure you like, subscribe, if you haven't already done that. If you did, thank you, I appreciate it. But liking, basically subscribing to the channel gets you on the front end of when these videos have been released, when this content has been released. Okay, so come back next week and I'm going to show you how you can start to really cultivate the ability to overcome challenges. All right, so take care. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you next time.